Yo, welcome back. Episode 21 of the Splat Sports Podcast. The boys are all here. It's been a little bit since we've recorded an episode and a lot has happened. We planned on filming before the finals and we're already 2 games in. Let's just jump into the NBA action. Why don't we? Celtics are up 2-0 on the Dallas Mavericks. It looks like a sweep is going to happen. Luka has no help. Kyrie in game 2 was basically non-existent. PJ Washington, non-existent. No help whatsoever from the Dallas Mavericks besides Luka. Luka played great. I'm not going to discredit him at all. It also goes to show that the Celtics have proven that they are the best team in the NBA. They had it ever since day one in the NBA. GRS, your thoughts on the NBA Finals so far?
Yeah, I saw it go this way. I said before I'd pick Celtics in 5, even though I really didn't want to. But yeah, Luka has had close to little to no help. Celtics have done a good job locking down Kyrie. Kyrie's lost, I think, 12 straight against the Celtics. So I don't know. Overall, it's just been Luka and just Luka. Celtics have played good together. Different players have stepped up. Win Tatum didn't have a great game. Brown played really good the first game. He played solid the second game. Uh, Kristaps Porzingis played great the first game. He did get injured in that second game though. But yeah, Celtics. The only way they lose is if they beat themselves, I think. And overall, I think they will easily win the series.
Kristaps Porzingis came out today, says he has a rare injury with a tendon inside his knee. I believe it's in that area. Super rare injury. He's day to day. He said that if he was not on the court in game 3, that he would die out there. So possibly rest in peace, Kristaps Porzingis. Barrett, your thoughts so far on the NBA Finals?
Yeah, when we put out that post, I guess last week on our finals predictions, I said in the group chat to Hunter and Grant, I said I thought Mavs could win in 7 potentially. I didn't really fully believe that, but with both of them picking the Celtics, I was like, all right, I'll throw the wild card in. Let's go Mavs in 7 here. But their hot shooting seems to have kind of come to a bit of an end here, and I think that's really what's killing them. They're not making those, the big, really, besides Luka, Kyrie's not stepping up and making those big buckets like he was all throughout the playoffs before. So I think that's really kind of fizzled out the rest of the Mavs attack. And I'm gonna say Celtics in 5 probably. I think Dallas will still at least game 3 or game 4 at home.
So now the question is, have the Celtics proven that they are the number 1 team in the league? They were number 1 in the power rankings, number 1 seed in the playoffs, best record in the NBA. Have they proven that so far? Because before filming this, GRS got a little heated and said that the Celtics, if they faced any other top seed in the West, that they would not win the NBA Finals. So, Bear, I'm going to get your thoughts on this. Besides the Nuggets, I think that the Celtics would win the Finals. I think that the Nuggets would be the only team that would give the Celtics some troubles just because of Jokic. GRS disagrees, but I'm going to go with Barrett first.
I agree with that take. I think the Celtics are the most well-rounded team in the NBA. They've got a lot of different pieces, not just in the starting lineup, but also off the bench who've come in throughout the year and kind of provided them with, whatever that they need to provide throughout that game or circumstance. So I would really like to, as an NBA fan myself and as a basketball fan in general, I would love to see a 7-game series with the Nuggets. I think that would be very interesting. See how the Celtics try to defend Jokic and Jamal Murray, but I think it'd be a very good series. But as of now, I think the Celtics have, kind of solidified themselves as the best team in the NBA. Obviously, as they're about to win the NBA championship, so that's the best team in the NBA in my opinion. So yeah.
I think that the Jokic would be really the only worry if we were to face in a Nugget series. I feel like Drew Holiday would do a phenomenal job with Jamal Murray. I feel like everybody else would kind of fill their roles. Al Horford, I don't think that he would do. Listen, he's locked Giannis up, but Jokic is a completely different beast, and I think Al Horford would struggle with that. GRS, you disagreed, though. Your thought?
Yeah, I just feel like the NBA playoffs are about matchups. I think Celtics got the best matchup they could out of the West. But a team like Denver, a team like the Timberwolves, who are long, they play good defense, maybe could give Brown and Tatum some problems. Gobert, though, does become a liability in the playoffs since he can't move, which guarding Kristaps, he can shoot, so that would become a little bit of an issue. But I feel like, I mean, I can't say a ton because Celtics are probably going to win, which would make them the best team. But overall, I think that a team like Barrett said, the Nuggets could go and fight. I think Timberwolves could have a shot. And yeah, there's really not much ton to say besides Celtics will probably they've probably shown they are the best team in the NBA.
Another question is, can the Celtics win multiple championships with this group? Celtics, it looks like they finally found a roster that has found the most success for them. You have Tatum locked up for a good amount of time. You have Brown locked up. Or no, you don't have Tatum locked up yet, but you have Brown locked up. You have Drew Holiday locked up. You have Porzingis, I'm pretty sure, for another 2 years, I believe. That's how long's left on his contract. It's in that range. Al Horford, I think he's there for another probably 2. I think he signed a 3-year contract or something like that. Tatum really being the only guy that you're going to have to extend. Derek White, I'm pretty sure he signed a pretty big contract when he got traded to the Celtics. The Celtics have locked in this roster. It looks like this is the roster that they're going with. And the NBA didn't have a whole lot of answers for it. Can the Celtics win multiple championships with this group, G-Russ?
I think they can. I think they can win. I think they can win 2, maybe 3. I am still a little nervous about the money situation. You paid Brown $300 million. That means you're probably going to pay Tatum the max possible, his super max or whatever the term is for it. Uh, I am. I don't know how much they're going to pay Porzingis because, like you said, they had him at 2 more years. They'll probably ask for probably close to 15 to 20 a year, probably. I feel like that's roughly a good spot. Derek White, whenever his contract comes up, he'll probably ask from like 5 to 10, maybe a little more than that per year. So yeah, I think like Hunter said, they are locked up for the next 2 or 3 years. I think they can win one more after this year for sure. I think 3 would be a stretch maybe, but this team's played great so far. Like Hunter said, they found a group that plays together well. Missoula has done a solid job with this roster, and yeah, I think Celtics will be a good team for the next couple of years.
Have Drew Holiday on a pretty reasonable contract. I believe it's 5 years in the $160 million range, somewhere in there. It's under $200 million. Barrett, your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with everything Grant said. Obviously, I think they can win at least 1 or 2 more, if everyone stays healthy, obviously. But I think they're going to have to find another backup big man for Al Horford because I really feel that if the Celtics win this championship, this would be Al's last season as an NBA player. He's getting up there. It's almost 40 now, so I think they're going to have to find a backup big man who can provide the same services as Al does, kind of spacing the floor and being a veteran leader for the team. But other than that, I mean, they've got their pieces locked up for at least 1 or 2 more years. So there's no reason, as to I can see, why they can't at least compete for a title every year. So yeah.
Going back to the finals, who's the finals MVP? After game 1, I would say Kristaps Porzingis. After game 2, kind of anyone's game now. It's kind of wide open. Barry, who do you think will win the finals MVP?
Yeah, this is a really tough one. Celtics, especially in the game 2, there wasn't really a single player who kind of stood out as to why they're winning. They're playing great team basketball. I think they had, we were talking about it at practice today, they had like 30 something assists, which is insane for a finals game, especially. But I would say Jaylen Brown. I think he's been, probably their best player throughout the playoffs. He's looked good in the first 2 games. So my vote would go to Jaylen Brown, but there's a ton of different people and a lot of ball left to play. So there'll be a couple I think who are all deserving of it, really.
Grant.
Yeah, I also agree it'll be Jaylen Brown. Tatum's played decent, struggled a little bit, but I would mention Drew Holiday in the conversation, considering how good he did on Kyrie Irving. But the award usually goes to the person who scored the most. Last time it didn't, I think. Didn't Iguodala win Finals MVP one year? Yeah, that was probably the last time it hasn't been the top scorer. So yeah, I think it'll be Jaylen Brown to go along with that Eastern Conference Finals MVP.
I think that it will probably be Drew Holiday just to be different. Jaylen Brown probably makes the best case, but Drew Holiday, he's also been playing great. He played great in the Eastern Conference Finals. A lot of people didn't talk about that. Pretty sure he dropped 30 points 2 times. I'm pretty sure that's pretty good for Drew Holiday. He's also locked up Kyrie, like G. Russ said, made him a non-factor. So that is that. Now we move over to the front office of the NBA and the Los Angeles Lakers. Dan Hurley, he was rumored to take the Lakers job. A lot of people thought he would. I think the offer was $70 million and about a 4-year contract, probably somewhere in that range. Hurley, UConn reigning college champion, national champions. Is this deal kind of shocking? To me, it's not. I feel like Hurley was going to stay at UConn. He's got a lot of players there, and I don't think he wanted to deal with the Lakers at the Lakers situation that they're currently in, which I'm sure we'll get into it after this. But Barrett, did you ever see Dan Hurley taking this job?
Not fully. There was always, as I was seeing, the result or what was coming out that he was in talks with them. There was always just something kind of deep inside of me, I guess, that said he's not going to go there. He already turned down Kentucky earlier this offseason, and they were offering him a lot of money as well. And I think once he kind of turned Kentucky down, I think for me that it kind of told me that he's going to turn the Lakers down too, and he's happy at UConn with almost the dynasty that he has built. So I think it wasn't really surprising to me.
Grant?
Yeah, I agree. I think it was more 50-50. A lot of people said I think that his slight lean was UConn, and obviously he did go back there. They'll probably go after Redick now. If you look at James Borrego, the Nuggets assistant, a couple others, Redick probably has the best relationship with LeBron. I don't think the head coach is a huge factor in the NBA. I feel like it's more about the roster around you. There are a couple teams though where the coach's play style does fit, like Carlisle and the Pacers, high pace tempo, a lot of points scored. Joe Mazzulla obviously wanting more of a one-on-one style of play. But Redick's never been a head coach before, and assuming he is the guy, it'll be interesting to see what his style of play is and see how they build the roster for free agency.
JJ Redick, good opportunity to be an NBA head coach, going from podcast to NBA head coach in a day. What a turnaround! I have a feeling it's going to be like the Steve Nash kind of hire, in a sense. Kind of shocking. A lot of people 10 years ago probably said you're turning down the Los Angeles Lakers. It doesn't surprise me. I think that Hurley going back, I think Hurley's more of a college coach anyway. I think he loves it at UConn. Why wouldn't you? You have everything there that you possibly need to recruit, and you also live in Connecticut. Good for him. Connecticut's a great state, I hear. Never been there before, though. But yeah, that's going to be the NBA for you. On to the NFL. Justin Jefferson, I wrote an article the day before he signed his big contract saying, what do the Vikings do with Justin Jefferson? I said that he would probably get, I think, what did he get? 160 something million. I was $22 million off. I think I said, I'm trying to remember what I said. I think I said 180 million in that range. Let me check real quick. I said an outrageous number because he deserves it. If you look at his stats, he has the most receiving yards in under a 4-year kind of start. He's a phenomenal player. He has a lot of opportunities, and he's played with, some quarterbacks besides Kirk that would bring a lot of wide receivers down, one would say. I said that the Vikings did have two options. They would either trade him or they would sign him to a huge deal. I said that, let's see, what did I say? Okay, I said he'd get $162 million. He got $140 million, if I'm correct. Stupid money, a lot of money for a guy who deserves it. He's going to be there for a long period of time. And the Vikings, I feel like instead of building around a quarterback, they're going to build around a wide receiver, which is something that could be risky in the NFL, but I don't know why you wouldn't. Just your thoughts on the Justin Jefferson deal?
Yeah, like Hunter said, it was well deserved. It will be interesting to see how they do build around a wide receiver room. But at the end of the day, if you have Justin Jefferson, you could just throw it up to him no matter who's in for the most part, and he go up and get it. But yeah, it is interesting how much he did get paid. I want to see what they do with other wide receivers in the room, how McCarthy does possibly at QB. And yeah, it'll just be. I don't think this is the Vikings year necessarily. I don't think anybody thinks that with such a tough division now up in the North. And yeah, it'll just be. I'll be interested to see if Jefferson can also stay healthy as well.
Vikings have a sneaky good team, though. Very solid defense. They bring in Aaron Jones. They're a pretty good roster on paper. Of course, that's on paper. It doesn't mean crap. Paper burns. Barrett, your thoughts?
Yeah, obviously very well deserving for Justin Jefferson. He's the best receiver in the NFL. I think this is really, this was huge for the Vikings, kind of locking up their franchise player like Hunter you already talked about. But this is also going to help J.J. McCarthy out a ton, having, just an elite receiver to throw it to. So, I think that's going to play a huge part into his development as well. So I think the Vikings could be maybe a little bit of a dark horse team to make a playoff run this year.
Jess looks very confused for some reason. I don't know why. Speaking of wide receivers, his LSU teammate Jamar Chase, his contract's coming up. The Bengals are in a very tough situation. T. Higgins wants to be traded. You have Joe Burrow. You signed him to a big contract. But yet again, you have Jamar Chase. What do you kind of do there? The Bengals, they went to a Super Bowl. We can't forget that. And now the roster's kind of falling apart at the seams. Do you build around these two guys? I think that you do. I think that Joe Burrow, you give him an offensive line, which they have not. They have started to. You give him an offensive line, and you keep him Jamar Chase there. Yeah, you have a very, very, very good roster. We've seen that Joe Burrow can play in the playoffs, along with Jake Browning and his girlfriend in the press box. Don't know why I said that. But, Barrett, your thoughts on what the Bengals need to do?
Yeah, I think the obvious answer is they need to lock Jamar Chase up. Him and Joe Burrow just have that college connection that's really kind of impossible to try to recreate with someone else. They're proven winners, like you said. They took them to the Super Bowl. They won a national championship in college. They're just a dynamic duo in the NFL, and they're great. Obviously, they got to kind of settle the O-line so that Joe Burrow isn't taking, just tons of hits every game and stuff. But, yeah, I think they need to lock him up and build around Burrow and Chase.
Sorry, I'm moving sports cards. Grant, your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree, Bear. I think they absolutely need to lock him up, build around him and Burrow. It'll be interesting to see because I think T. Higgins requested a trade a few weeks ago, so it doesn't look like the Bengals want to pay him. It looks like they just want to go all in on Jamar Chase, even though that room is waning fastly. Tyler Boyd left. I think he left to the Titans, maybe.
Titans.
Yes.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what they do. I think that Kate Irwin, maybe. Is he still up there in Bengals? I don't know for sure. But I think the Bengals are clearly set on only paying Burrow and Chase for the time being.
And why would you blame them? Another guy who got a contract extension this offseason plays a bit of a different position, more of a Swiss Army knife. Christian McCaffrey, he was named the Madden cover athlete today, at least deluxe edition. First time in quarterback's not been in a while. Good for him. Running back hasn't been named to cover Madden cover athlete since
Peyton Hillis, I think.
No, Adrian Peterson was Madden 25.
Oh, yeah, Madden 25.
I'm pretty sure. So there you go. Good for Christian McCaffrey. And then finally, can anyone else win a Super Bowl besides the Chiefs? Yes, they can. I think that the Eagles will probably win the NFL Super Bowl this year. If not, the 49ers. I think it's the NFC's time. The Chiefs, they've had too many offseason problems, too many distractions. It's hard to fight through one distraction, let alone about 15 distractions. I mean, you got dudes beating their dogs. You got Harrison Butker beating Harrison Butker. You have
Rashee Rice.
Rashee Rice.
who says that he is trying to recover. Good for him. I hope he succeeds in that recovery. Will it happen? Who knows? But you got a lot of issues there. Travis Kelce. I mean, you got Taylor Swift. There's just so much. The documentary on the Kansas City Chiefs and how they won a Super Bowl last year will be phenomenal. Let me go ahead and tell you that, because there's going to be an ESPN 30 for 30, if not on them this year. They need to do a last dance, I'm pretty sure, because the amount of drama surrounding this team is astonishing. And for them to have the success, I see why G-Rest asked this question, Chiefs or the field. But I do think that it will be the field. You saw the Eagles load up with Saquon and what's his name? I can't remember. Bryce Huff, I'm pretty sure. They signed a defensive man that was really good. I can't remember his name exactly. It's something like that. You also have the 49ers, who are kind of due, you would feel like, you would think. And then you have the AFC, which got really good around them. Barrett, your thoughts?
Yeah, I definitely could see either the Niners or the Eagles winning it. But, I think last year kind of proved it. You never count out Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid and Travis Kelce. There's just, I don't know what it is about them, but they're always, come playoff time, they're always in the Super Bowl. So is the streak going to be kind of ended this year? Maybe. I think, like you said, the Eagles are really good now, and the Niners kind of going into that Super Bowl last year, losing, they've got some valuable experience, especially Brock Purdy, who that was his first time playing in the Super Bowl. Obviously, Mahomes was the veteran there, and it kind of showed. So I think, maybe the Niners this year is kind of their year to win the Super Bowl. They're a lot more experienced now, and they're just getting better. So I think the Niners will be my pick besides the Chiefs.
Grant Russell.
Yeah, I do understand what you guys are saying, but at the end of the day, I'm gonna pick Patrick Mahomes until somebody dethrones him. I feel like last year's roster was a little worse than this year's. They obviously drafted a couple receivers. It'll be interesting to see what if the NFL does anything about Rashee Rice's whole situation and what's going on with him. But overall, I do think that the I just don't I guess I do kind of see why people would not pick the Chiefs this year, but I will pick them until someone dethrones them.
Barrett's dog just left the room. Sad to see it. Oh,
Crazy.
Anyway, that's the NFL for you. Try to think. Oh yeah, College World Series. It starts on Friday. Great for baseball. Tennessee, Florida State, Florida, Texas A&M, North Carolina.
Yes.
North Carolina, NC State, and
Virginia
all made it. Only two conferences represented this year. A lot of people said this is what's killing college sports, power conferences. No, it's just that the Big Ten baseball scene sucks and the Pac-12 baseball scene sucks. Oh wait, the Pac-12 is dead. Big 12, they stink. Okay. Who cares? Tennessee has probably the best shot to win it. I feel like it's their year. They've proven that after time and time again. I'm not going to pick them though because of the one-seeded curse. Even though that Tony Vitello did drop probably one of the best press conferences of all day, 6 minutes of pure energy. I about wanted to run through a brick wall on Monday morning after I watched that Johnson. Anyway, who will win the College World Series? I'm going to let Barrett go first on this one. I'm hoping he doesn't say a team because, of luck practices and things like that.
Yeah, okay. I think I'll go with two here. One that I could really see winning it is Florida, just because they're the hot team right now. I mean, they weren't. Some people said they didn't even deserve to make the NCAA tournament in the regionals, and they won the regional. They go to Clemson and win, and one of the greatest baseball games I've ever seen in my life. I mean, Clemson always has great postseason baseball for some reason. So they win the Clemson regional, and now they're in the College World Series. They got Jack Caglione, one of the best players in college baseball, probably the best player in college baseball now because Charlie Condon is done. So Florida is one, and then I'll go with the team that beat Georgia. I'll go with NC State. They look pretty solid to me as well. Obviously, their pitching was pretty good. They held Charlie Condon to a really, really bad series, and that's saying something. So I'll go with NC State on my other team.
Charlie Condon 1 for 11. Absolutely atrocious for the Golden Spikes Award winner, who's probably going to win it. Grant.
I don't really know a ton about the other teams, so I will go with the 1 seed. My thought process is that the curse has got to end at some point, and I figure why shouldn't it be this year? The only concern with Tennessee is that pitching has been it's not as good as the team in 2022. It is still solid. Offense is probably easily the best offense in the league. But overall, Tennessee, among the three major sports at least, hasn't really won anything in our lifetimes at least. So it would be great to see that. And yeah, I just think the curse has to end at some point. So I'll go with Tennessee.
We were cheer national champions for about 7 years in a row, by the
Big
way.
three. Big three.
There you go.
That's why I said that.
Anyway, I'm going to go with NC State. They're the hottest team coming in. And like Barrett said, they held Georgia. The reason I'm not going to go Florida is that they're going to kind of run out. They have a very tough road to the World Series, I'm pretty sure, or at least in Omaha. Texas A&M, very good. Came back and beat Oregon. FSU, very underrated.
FSU is good.
FSU is extremely good. Tough matchup for Tennessee. It feels like this is a pretty even College World Series when you look at it on paper. But yeah, I saw a lot of people very upset that Tennessee was in it. Screw y'all. I hate you Clemson people. You know it. A lot of people saying that Clemson was cheated out of the Florida game because of the officiating and umping. Boo-hoo. We have to deal with terrible referees all the time here at Rocky Top, at least to our standards, which, yes, they're biased. But anyway, that's in the College World Series preview. I'm sure we'll get more into it. Next up, the big old U.S. Open is this weekend, or is this week, actually. Scotty Scheffler of the field. It's probably going to be Scotty Scheffler. Let's be real here. It's his year. He got arrested and somehow keeps winning. Good for him. His charges were dropped, though, so he's technically a free man he is a free man. What am I talking about? Just
Yeah, I agree. I think it's Scheffler's year to win all four. The only guy that I think could have a shot is maybe DeChambeau. He has past few tournaments had made some big runs at the end. So if he could put it together for all four rounds, I think he has a chance. Schauffele has been doing really good. Won the PGA championship. So yeah, I think. Overall, though, Scheffler is clearly the best golfer in the world right now. Has been for a little while now, and yeah, I just think it's his easily.
DeChambeau known for choking U.S. Open at Pinehurst number 2. Yes, Pinehurst number 2. Bear, how many Pinehurst are there?
7.
Oh, horrible guess. Russ, how many is there?
I don't know. We'll go 6.
I think there's 11, I think, or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, Barrett.
It's Scotty Scheffler. I mean, come on now. Like, I don't
resident
know,
golf guy, Barrett Roberts.
I don't know a lot about golf. I do know a lot of golfers, but from what I've seen, Scotty Scheffler's looked pretty unstoppable this year. So I'll go with Scotty.
Going for the Grand Slam, I'm pretty sure, right, Russ?
Career, yeah.
Not career Grand Slam, not this year Grand Slam, but career Grand Slam. I don't think we'll ever see somebody complete another Grand Slam in a season. If they do, good for them. Next up on the docket. Okay, what the heck is this kind of title right here? But an American, top 10 American has sadly been banned from the Nathan's Hot Dog Eating Contest. A July 4th staple. Joey Chestnut took a vegan brand deal with a hot dog company. I think the Impossible Meat Company. Screw them. Their meat is horrible. I'll stand on that. But he is now banned from competing in the Nashville hot dog competition. This is a travesty if I've ever seen one.
This is a
People are
disgrace.
people are outraged. Twitter's going crazy, as they should. So yeah, there you go. There, just wanted to throw that in
Momoko's
there for
stepping
you.
in.
I will not be stepping in. I hate hot
Oh,
dogs. I cannot. I can eat maybe like 3 hot dogs tops.
Aiden
Thanks.
Timpton, answer the call.
Hey,
Could
Barrett loves
answer
his
that.
chili cheese dogs.
Dang straight. I would slow me down though. The chili and cheese would put me at an unfair advantage.
You got to eat them raw though.
Yep.
Next.
That's all.
Well, we were going to talk about the WNBA and Caitlin Clark, so I'll just talk about it because apparently Grant doesn't want to talk about it for some reason. I don't know why. A lot of drama going on in the WNBA. I don't know if you've watched the WNBA again this year, but I mean, it feels like they're all going to. It sounds like to me they're all going to fight each other. We saw it with the Chicago Sky versus the Indiana Fever. Caitlin Clark's team versus Angel Reese's team. They get kind of chippy into it. I liked it. I was watching. I was like, okay, more eyes to the product. A lot of people upset with Caitlin Clark. I don't get the hate on her. Yeah, she's a rookie. She's going to struggle. It's a different league. It's different from college basketball where you can drop 40 on a night. Okay? Yeah, I don't get the hate for Caitlin Clark. I don't get the hate on the Team USA team. I don't get the hate on the WNBA right now. I'm going to be honest. I think that it's enjoyable to watch for once because it's exciting for once. I'm not saying that it hasn't been in the past, but it's very exciting now because we're now seeing people fight. Okay, that's how. If you want people to watch your sport, you have them fight for a little bit, and then you can get them watching more and more. Numbers are going up on ESPN and other things. They're getting new TV deals. They're getting new Nike deals. I don't get the hate for why Caitlin Clark is in the NBA. I think it's very dumb, personally. Barrett, your kind of thoughts on this?
Yeah, Caitlin Clark has been great for the NBA. Like Hunter said, I mean, people are watching WNBA basketball now. Like, I mean, that wasn't a thing before. She's just brought her and a lot of other rookies from that rookie class. So they're pretty talented. I think this new rookie class has really just brought a lot of popularity and money into the sport, and now they don't have to fly commercial anymore. They get their own private jets when flying to games. There's fights breaking out. You got NBA Draymond Green's tweeting out that the Fever need to sign an enforcer to protect Caitlin Clark. Like it's really fun to watch and keep up with, in my opinion. So Caitlin Clark's been great for WNBA. Sure, she hasn't been the superstar that people have kind of thought she would be right off the gate, but I mean that's happened to a ton of superstars and all out throughout sports. So just give her some time; she'll figure it out. Yeah, and it'll be great. WNBA is on the rise. Buy the stock now.
A lot of people have said that Caitlin Clark is like Michael Jordan and how the NBA didn't know how to handle Jordan when he entered the league. I don't know if it's to that extreme, but from what I've seen so far, it's kind of true. WNBA doesn't really know. I don't think the WNBA expected this out of the Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese kind of thing. Cameron Brink's also having a phenomenal
Yeah,
year.
Cameron Brink.
I like
Rakia Jackson as well.
Doing her own thing. Rakia Jackson, yep, another name in there. G-Russ, your kind of thoughts, even though that you didn't want to talk about this?
Yeah, I do think that Caitlin Clark has been good. A lot of people are saying, she has high turnover, and field goal percentage has been great, but at the end of the day, her team is awful. It's basically just her. So overall, yeah, she's definitely been good for the league. I think next couple of years she'll definitely be a superstar in the league. Like y'all said, Cameron Brink's played great, probably so far the best rookie year, I'd say statistically wise. And yeah, overall she has been good for the league. Viewership is through the roof in the league, and so yeah, she's definitely been good for the league overall.
Her not making the USA team, I think, is a little bit dramatized. I don't think that she's proved it yet. I mean, she played great at Iowa, yeah, but that's college basketball to a world level. Doesn't really matter. Nobody watched the Dream Team to watch Christian Laettner play, okay? Sure, Clark being on the USA team would most likely bring more eyes to the product. It's just sad truth. But There you go. I think that wraps up episode 21, though. I think we're going to leave it there. Jesus loves you. This episode should be up pretty soon. I'm not sure how long. I think tomorrow, which is Wednesday. Probably when you're watching. Attaboy G. Russ. Look at that man in the corner right there. He's about to edit this thing like crazy. We're also going to film another episode this week. With
It's next week.
never mind.
It'd
We're
be
going
delayed. It'll be next week sometime. I don't know when yet, but
we're posting it next week. Okay. It's a little special surprise for y'all coming next week. So there you go. Depends. And there's also possibly going to be a Splat chat with Chube and one of his amigos. We'll there you go. Jesus loves you. Adios. Bye.